Hello, good evening to everybody. Today we will discuss about the structuralism, what we yesterday left, the continuation of structuralism. There are different authors has given their views about the structure and its values. Let us start with the Saucer's ideas. He said that structure word was established only after Second World War. In the last class I told you the structure word was before 19, in which word it was used under the name of construction. And then another professor, Lewis Stratus, he was a French fellow, basically anthropologist. He wants to explain the subject with the help of language, with the help of place. And he was the first person to widen the concept to the many areas. And he also studied along with the social structure, the myth, that is mythology, what the people are thinking. Let us assume mythology stories are Ramayana, Mahabharata, something like this. And also totemism, pray the animals or stones as a god. So that totemism also he was studied. Added to this, social structure always reject the choice and the freedom in expression. It is confined, limited. And he has written in two books, two ideas or two subjects into different ideas concerned with the common subject, that is social structure. In 1949, the elementary structure of society or the elementary structure of in the society kinship he studied in 1949. In the second, 1950, structural anthropology. Subject itself is the anthropology subject, a specific place has given for the structuralism. Both has carried the what type of information? About the kinship information. Whether you study the structural anthropology or elementary structure of kinship, in both subjects, in both angles, he has written the only the matter related to the kinship. And the third person is Freud, Lesiana and Cannon. Freud means Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is basically is a doctor, Austrian doctor. He wants to study the patient. So many injections, tablets he has written, but there is no cure. Again he got doubt. There is another subject which I do not know, which society didn't projected it. What is that society? What is that subject? Maybe psychology. So he asked the patient, night times what type of dreams that you are getting? So and so dreams he is telling. By that some amount of time he is spent for the dreams. What he had in his mind, the inner thoughts, inner feelings, it is coming out in the form of the dreams. So he has given the other varieties of the drug. So finally he wants to analyze the individual personality in a very analytical way. So social structure is also studied in an analytical way, social analysis. That's why he got the name father of psychological analyzer. That is his story. What about the another professor, Pigat? He said, structuralism is okay, madam, but in general psychology it will study it. Not only what Sigmund Freud said or Lacan said or Sassana had said, not only that much. In general, about the social structure it will study. Which language, which subject? In the psychology. So Piaget is expressed his views. Structuralism is also studied in psychology. Then third order. Third order is nothing but the structure. A specific dominant culture is understood in the following way. One is language, to understand either verbal language or non-verbal language or body language. And all these ideas, what body language is giving, we are putting on a paper and we will form in a systematic order. When we are keeping anything, any facts in a systematic order, we will say institution or science or organization. Organization is established in a systematic manner. And also ideas and imaginations. Even though I may have some idea, presently without any work, no empirical, no practical work, I am always in the imagination. If you want to show it practically, the idea has the validity. Sometimes the idea will be like that as it is, static way, but the imaginations are more and more. This is the third order. One is language. For this, what is important? Specific dominance culture in the structuralism. One is language, second one is organization, third one is idea, fourth one is what is that? Imagination. This we call it as third order. And then Lankan is telling structuralism can be found out, can be observed in a symbolic expression. Example, in the ambulance or fire engine is going, some water tank is there, it may be somewhere else, some fire is there, fire engine giving the siren, it is going on. Some plus symbol is there, the ambulance is going on. Like that, symbolic expression will give this information of the structure of that idea. And also real and imagination. It shows the differences between the reality and the imagination. What I said, I am having an idea. I want to introduce a new racket. Okay, idea is good, but you should keep it in a practical way. In physics department or in the astrophysics department, you put all the wires and everything systematically. Then the racket will be prepared. Without any preparation, simply you are in the imagination means it never works out. Structure is there, but function should follow it. So here Lankan is telling real and imagination. There is a difference between these two. And then Marxists, that is another group of people, not one person, Marxists. They are giving the more weightage for the production, total production, materialistic production. In this production, what is important point? Real agent, ideational relationships. Reality we are showing, but always ideal. Ideal never be practical. Ideal means standard. All people cannot become the Gandhis, but we will keep as a model. Maximum he completed 100 marks. But if you follow, we may follow the minimum 40 or 50 points, foot principles are his ideas. So ideational relations, real agent and ideational relations, we can easily discriminate. Who said that the Marxist people are telling it is concerned with the materialistic capitalistic production. Second one is it is a real agent but ideational relations. In case if American government will give, we may do the some other good activities, some industries we may establish. Like that, you are in the imagination. If they really give, if they practically establish, then you can say. Then another professor is telling, who is that? Lucy Althusser. Lucy Althusser is telling, it is social analysis. Lucy, social analysis for what? For a particular event, structuralism. Social analysis of particular event structure, whether it is right or wrong, real or imagination, every point we will he will explain it. Who is real agent? Who is in the imagination? And all these things we can understand. Structural Marxism, what we call it as structural Marxism. Analysis for what you are going to analyze? A production or an idea you are going to analyze. Bindu madam is having the good ideas. If you analyze it, it may be helpful for us. This is an ideas only. If you study early morning, you will get the good marks. Later study at the evening time. That is the repetition of the subject, known subject. This is a social analysis. But how many people are following all these things? So, structural imagination. Even for the structural imagination, for structure also, if I may become the collector, how I will be, we are imagining. So, many police people will come along with us. My status is the higher status. Like that you are imagining. So, that is also we are analyzing the society, social analysis. And another one is female theorist. Who were the female theorists? Allison and Assey sisters. These two women wants to explain the few ideas about the structuralism. One is the whole is having the number of subparts. Each part is located in a so and so place. One is wholes. Second one is subparts of the whole, and subparts of the whole where it is located so and so places. When we go to the cinema hall, they will give some numbers where we will go and sit there. Like that, subparts where it is going to sit, where it is going to occupy its position. But these subparts are very, very important. These subparts are always maintaining the cooperation and coordination for the existence of the social structure. If subparts are perfectly connected with one another with the cooperation, the system will be coexistence. But generally, if the two subsystems are perfectly compactly united, then there is no change or less change also. So it should be loosely connected. That's why structures is undergoing the change, because it was loosely connected. There is a chance for the changes. But the two subparts are concretely, cooperatively, they are fixed. They are helping for the stability of that subparts and also contributing for the whole system. And then laws are also there. That what we call the coexistence, it is useful. For the change, it is not useful. And how can we see the social structure? It is always it is always beneath the surface, submerged way. If you take the glass, if you keep the ice cube never float on the top. Ice cube, some part will be appear, maximum 90 parts is in the inside the water. Like that, social structure is totally submerged and beneath the surface. On the ground it never appears. Inside or lower side it will be there. Who said all these things? That is sisters, female sisters has told Ali's son and as sisters. These two people found whole is there, whole subparts is there, whole subparts are positioned and subparts are working compactly. At that time, the structural laws, what he said, when there are two parts are compactly working cooperatively, staying back, stability has taken place. When there is a stability, no change for that. That's why it is always with the loose structures. Where there is a loose, there is a chance for the change. And also, the social structure we cannot see. It is always with the background or beneath or behind. Only functional value we will see. And then Durkheim, another professor, Emile Durkheim. Already in the first classes I told you. He has also written elementary form of religion. Division of labor, he is the responsible. And the another socius and logos word. All these words concerned attributed to the Emile Durkheim. And he also said about the social structure. What he say? Ways, time, place. These three words are important. For what, madam? Subject is the same, but the application ways are different. Time is different. Place is different. You see, if I am at house, generally I won't wear saree because this is the class I wore this one. Or else I will be in the another cotton saree or a nightie. So place will decide the structure. And also I told you, single person at various places, his structure is different. Place different, time also different. Same person at evening hours or at night hours, he may had the habit of reading the books, or evening going for the share or going for the temple. So his groups are changed. That is, structure is changed. Ways are different. For what we want to know all these things? In the earlier time, how the ideas 0 level. Next, after one century, 2 level. After another century, 3 level or 4 level, 5 level. The idea is also undergoing the changes. When the idea is undergoing the changes, idea structure is also undergoing the changes. This we are in need of. History of ideas. Who said that one? Durkheim and Masu, and as another person is also there. Durkheim and Masu are telling for the same common subject at various places, various ways, various timings, it differ. Groups differ, structure differ, and also it will be useful to understand the idea. Earlier what type of idea, what type of structure it was there, now what type of idea present. It has a new idea, novel idea we are getting. Automatically structure is also changing. But go for the Evans Pritchard, another professor. No madam, is very simple. Study about the culture, study about the structuralism. And then switch over to the another professors. Who were they? Mr. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is telling, Karl Marx was the first person to divide the society into two parts, rich and poor, wealth-wise. But he was failed in explaining the middle class. Later his associates, his students, his disciples, next disciples, 2-3 generations, they were criticized by the other economists. How the Karl Marx judgment, how he has kept only 2 words. What about the middle class people? I do not know, sir. What he said we simply followed, sir. Don't you know? All people, poor people to be like that, or wealthy people to be like that. Can't you move ups and downs? Yes, it is there. Changes are there. In between, during the transition period, middle class is also having. Middle class has another name, conscious class. What we call it as conscious class. The poor people wants to go for the higher strata. One day it is not possible. So many years, then they want to come to the middle class. That is another story we will explain later. So whatever it may be, but he was the first of its kind. He introduced the society rich and poor. He is always giving the weightage for the economy or the wealth. Here also in the structuralism, he wants to say based on the economic point. Madam, materialistic culture is influencing the non-materialistic culture. I told you culture is divided into two parts, materialistic culture and non-materialistic culture. Materialistic culture means which we can see with our naked eyes. This is board, this is glass, this is person, this is chalk piece. This is materialistic. Non-materialistic culture means knowledge, skills, customs, traditions, folkways, more patience. All these things are spiritual, whatever it may be. These are non-materialistic things. Who are influencing? Materialistic culture is influencing the non-materialistic culture. So automatically materialistic structure is bringing the changes in non-materialistic culture. Our idea is our light should focus on structuralism. Just to understand what he said, that's why I have given the brief information about the gentleman. And then Lacan. What Lacan said? Lacan is already covered. Emile Durkheim. Emile Durkheim already he has given with another friend with some ideas, time, space, ways for that to understand the history of ideas. Here only alone Emile Durkheim wants to say each unit, each whole thing, each event will be influenced by the external forces. What made me to give a classwork for you? I was influenced by my family kin. Auntie, you can do it because you are having the minimum knowledge. You can take the classwork. Or else I am not interested. I use it to always see the comments about the various functions in the YouTube. That's all. I didn't expect, I didn't get any idea also. Because when I was influenced by someone, I started the YouTube classes. Like this, Emile Durkheim is telling, a particular group will be influenced by other forces, external forces. Automatically, when the other forces are coming, as alone, my structure is different. When I have taken the ideas from other people, external force, my structure is elaborated or enlarged. So what Emile Durkheim is telling is excellent. And Herbert Spencer is also telling biological organs of the human body is compared to the sociological institution. How the body is having the stability because of various organs are working for itself and also working for the integration of the whole body. Like that, the society also having the institution equal to our body organs. Like that, all institutions are working for the proper integration of the society, for the integration of the nation or the society, whatever it may be. And switch over to the very important professor, Mr. Murdoch. This Murdoch has done a lot of information about the family. Entire the world he cross-checked. What type of information he gathered? Kinship information he gathered. Earlier, what type of information? Kinship, crude form of kinship it was there. Now it is the modern type of kinship. Example, why Rahul Gandhi wants to become the PM? His father, his mother, his grandma, his grandpa, all people are blood related or kin relatives. In this way, they want to rule the society. Kinship. So, Murdoch has taken the important word structure of the kinship. This structure will also explained with the help of taxonomy. Taxonomy is a word related in the botany subject, classification. So what Murdoch wants to say, explain the value of kinship, explain the structure of kinship, how it was in earlier days, now how it is. Earlier only Jawaharlal Nehru, one dot. Next it will be divided into V shape, reverse V shape, or two U shape. Two members become, and then three types, that is Rajiv Gandhi. Next it will come to the Sonia Gandhi, 4 lines came. Then now she wants to Priyanka or the Rahul Gandhi, 5 lines came. The earlier structure is 1 line, the present structure is 5 lines. 4 lines may not be there, but 1 line is there. But for the 1 line stability, 4 lines are important. Earlier people deeds are important. For the present Congress party wants to win it. My forefathers also working, they have done a lot of service. If you give the opportunity, I too want to do some service for you. Like this he wants to say. So earlier structure is simple, now it is complex. On what basis he explained? Kinship structure. So Murdoch in civil services or group 1 services, what is the speciality of Mr. Murdoch means immediately you should say kinship. If the word is there, kinship and kin relationship, you should take it for that. And let us start with the classification of social structure. Classification. Anti-humanism. That is negative people temperament, the group structure how it is. Humanitarian ground basis people nature how it is, that group structure how it is. Second one, engaged theory. When we are dull, static, it has the very limited structure. When it is working, it is flowering, it is having the branches, all people are working, its structure is different. That's why engaged theory. The third one is genetic based theory. Our forefathers, they may intelligent, we may intelligent. They were dull, or any one of the generations people are also dull. If they had the any twisted eye, one of the members, they may get it like this. Genetical structure, it is continuing, off and on, dominance and recessive, this is the genetical information. And fourth one is holism. Fifth one is isomorphism. Isomorphism is nothing but same molecules in different design, same persons with different roles. We are expecting hero, Ramarao is always hero. Sometimes he wants to act as a villain also. That is very, very important point. Why? Villain role is also having more weightage, more or less equivalent to the hero. Ravanasura, Duryodhana. Like this, he wants to show the power of that group power or a person power. So here it is, in a physics subject we can say same molecules, different pattern, same person, different roles. And then post-structuralism. After structure is over, what is the consequences? When the interaction is over, what will happen? Relationship had been taken place. That's why I told in the last class, first statement, pattern arrangement of relationship. That means interaction and structure, I skipped it. No need to explain. It is embedded, hidden words. Structure always we cannot see. Only the output we want to see. The functional value we want to see. Post-structuralism. And Russian then formulations. Maybe they started the new variety of the structures. They found it, they had observed, and that's why they used their country name Russian formulation. And another one is structural film theory. You can show that. Film means not only the cinema, any film, photo in a specific place, same person. I am the same person. At my college, how I am explaining. On and off, I used to come down to Telugu and I used to explain in Telugu and Hindi also. Why? Because the people, some people are from the Urdu medium also, they came and they joined. And sometimes the Telugu people who came from the background, country background, they may not understand if I will continuously the same speed if I will speak in English. So I want to manage all the people. Structural film theory, like that, either in small screen or the bigger screen, whatever it may be, the structures are changing. Earlier only 16 mm cinema hall, theatre, that is an open hall, that is in an open ground, we are keeping the 16 mm cloth and then we are going to project it. For the government scheme, something they want to tell to the people, 16 mm screen they want to explain it. And then 70 and then 360 degree and 3D. Now we are having the glasses, Avatar cinema, if you want to see, you should wear the 3D eye glasses. So structural film theory, and then switch over to the another. Only structuralism, Emile Durkheim, and the another one is structuralism and functionalism. All these are nothing but the various types of the structuralism. Okay. Out of all these things, which are very important, that is important structuralism types we are in need. One is sociological structuralism. Second one is historical structuralism. Third one is symbolic structuralism. Fourth one is traditional structuralism. From the IAS point of view, this much of knowledge is sufficient. What are those four? Sociological structuralism, historical structuralism, and symbolic structuralism. Fourth one is traditional structuralism. So these are the information related to the Pakka perfect concrete structuralism. Already in the last class I told you it is a pattern arrangement of relationship. Now today we started with after Second World War onwards structuralism started, and particularly Levi-Strauss has focused his light to understand through the language and the place, and he was the first person to propagate the concept, and he was 1949-1950 he has written 2 books. In both books, kinship he has taken very much. Kinship structures, elementary structure of kinship and structural anthropology. And some other way, there are other professors also telling imagination and reality there is a difference. And also Sigmund Freud, Sasses and Lacan, these 3 people are studied the structuralism in psychoanalysis or social psychoanalysis. And another professor is telling, no madam, why should only that psychosocial analysis? In general psychology they are studying. Like the Pritchard is telling, structuralism in general. Emile Durkheim is telling, with his friend Masses, time, space, ways are important to understand the idea, how the ideas in earlier time, how it has been metamorphosis, undergoing the number of changes, at present time what type of ideas we are enjoying. And another professor is also telling, one is imagination, idea, language and organization. And Herbert Spencer is telling, compare with the biological organs to the social institution. And Marxists are telling, that is the production. Another professor is telling, real agent is different and ideational relations are different. Reality is different, imagination is different. And Karl Marx in specific is telling materialistic cultures are influencing the non-materialistic culture, that is the spiritualism or customs and ethics and so many things. And Levi-Strauss is also studied not only the structuralism, myth, that is mythological information, and also the totemism. And also Emile Durkheim alone, what he said, we will be influenced by others, how I was influenced by my kin relatives. And finally, the Murdoch is telling, he wants to study the world kinship, that's all. How? Through the classification. Classification is analysis. Already Sigmund Freud used the analysis word. So Murdoch is also used that analysis. That word is taxonomy. Taxonomy word is appeared in botany. Meaning is classification. The structure is classified, structurally organized. The body is structurally organized. Society is structurally organized. That's why structuralism is very, very important. By this, our subject is over. And there are number of criticisms. There is no need to write. If you have the specific author more information, at that time only you should write the criticism part. This is only in case if they will ask the structuralism, today's information plus tomorrow fundamentalism. Not fundamental, functionalism. Structuralism, functionalism. And third point is both structuralism and functionalism. If you cover all these points, next 3 days it will take. You can get the more, roughly 250 marks above you will get it. If they will ask like this. Because it is a dry subject. Structuralism and the functionalism, all these are dry subject. And if it is a combination of both means, again dry. But we will always see from the external side, that is functional aspect. After that relationship we will say. When the relationship is appearing means backside what it has happened, interaction has taken. Interaction how it has happened, when the structure is good. Subparts are working properly. No, if they are compactly working, stability has taken place, no changes. That's why structures are loosely structured. That's why in law department, some number of changes had been taken place. They are telling new amendments started. Abhaya case, Disa case. When Ambedkar has written some notes, constitution, that time such type of situations was not there. Time and space, that ideas are not there. So automatically he didn't write. Now we are having that situation. So we are adding the one more article like that. That's why if it is a loose, we can add it. This is the structuralism. Today we are going to wind it up, the structuralism. Tomorrow functionalism. This is Bindu taking leave from the YouTube platform. Please kindly like, share and subscribe it. Good night.